We're doing a teaching session today for the Stop the Bleed. Stop the Bleed is a teaching module developed by the Department of Defense and it's licensed to the American College of Surgeons.
The goals here are first to identify when somebody does actually have life-threatening bleeding.
The purpose of Stop the Bleed is to teach people in the general public what to do when faced with life-threatening bleeding. We use 3 basic techniques: compression, packing, and tourniquet application to help with controlling bleeding until help arrives.
Oh, that's good. That's nice and tight. Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. All right.
And that's really important because the #1 cause of death after injury is bleeding. And on average, in the United States, it takes about 7 minutes for EMS to arrive at the scene after being dispatched, which is much longer than it would take somebody to potentially bleed out from an injury. We've been mostly going around to schools and teaching school nurses and health teachers how to do this. Feedback's been very positive. The schools that I've gone to have really appreciated the teaching, and the knowledge that we're giving them is somewhat empowering because it allows them to now be able to have options for what to do in the face of an emergency.
On any given day, we never know what's going to walk through the door. So it's good to have a training that's specific to our job in the school. As nurses in the district of West Warwick, we don't have a lot of trainings that are specific to nursing. So I jumped on the opportunity to have this type of training. I thought it was great. It's very short and sweet, and there's not many steps that you have to follow. And it was all practical, hands-on information that we can take right back to work.
For the schools that we're going around to, I've been trying to leave a leave behind or send them something afterwards, where I get a Stop the Bleed kit from the American College. Is a little backpack that has about 8 individual kits. They take one of the individual kits and they put it in the case with the AED. I have a small grant that I was able to get. Unfortunately, that funding is going to only last so long. That's why it's important that the state also step in. Right now, we're working on legislation to get Stop the Bleed teaching to staff in schools as well as kits into schools. And eventually, we hope to work on the other part of it in terms of teaching graduating seniors. In the state of Rhode Island, there is a requirement for graduating high school seniors to know CPR and to know AED use. The goal here eventually is we'd like them also to have to know how to do Stop the Bleed.